2% of dudes rapping, they ain't nice as me. 98% ain't live the same type of life as me. The judge gave me life and then they sent me where the life is be. That level 4 with depth and vice, the type of stuff they like to see. Two choices, fight or flee. I refuse to die a chump. I never been a mark, but damn, it's scary when that riot jump. I seen dudes cry, get punked, and some sexually brutalized. Knew a dude who lost his life and he was only doing 5 year-long racial fights when homie all you do is ride. Lonely days and nights up in a hole causing suicide. From the moment you arrive, you see the Mexican mafia, AB skinheads with big giant swastikas, pro-black philosophers, the BGF, the Kumi, and Muslims who will murk you from the nation to the Sunni. That MS was loony, quick to ride up on they rival. Even Christians went to church, hide knives up in they Bible. Political and tribal, the Crips and Damus, the Long Beach, the Hubs and the Dubs and the Grooves, the IE, the Bakersfield, the Dago Pyrus, the Hustlers quick to roll, the gangsters don't move. Whatever click you
say, what's cracking YouTube? Yard down. Now, for those of y'all that new to my page, in 1994, I got arrested. I was eventually sentenced to 16 years plus life. Yeah, that's me gassing right there on that intro song. And if you want to get that song, it is available on a 10-song EP that you can only purchase directly from me. I also have 2 other mixtapes, one with 16 songs, one with 13 songs. They $20 a piece or $45 for all 3. If you're interested, hit me up on my email, 16tolifemusic@gmail.com, and I'm going to get them to you ASAP, man.
What's up, everybody? For those that don't know, my name is Joey. Most people know me by Snow Rock. So now, I had a little story I wanted to tell. This goes back to when I was in Lancaster. So this was between 94 and 98. So I was in Lancaster level 4. All right, so Lancaster was level 4, so this was my first time ever at a level 4. I'd been there, you know what I'm saying? You know, I got there, like I said, in 94. I left sometime in 98. So I had, when I first got to the orientation, which was D-Yard, I was there for like, you know what I'm saying, less than a week, and then they shot me over to the C-Yard. So when I got to the C-Yard, you know what I mean, you know, the homeboys embraced me, you know what I'm saying, what's up, cuz, you know what I mean, I knew, you know what I'm saying, you know, a lot of the people in the yard, so, you know what I mean, you know, my homies was there, and they was like, look, you know what I'm saying, you know, this is what it is, and I told them, look, as long as it's one-on-one, you know what I mean, you know, I got it, you know what I mean, you know, anybody run up, I got it, one-on-one, just don't let them get me. You know, because
now for those of you guys who may not be familiar with what's going on, or you know, possibly your first time tuning in, obviously he is a white dude who he pushed Crip, so he ran with the blacks, he affiliated with the blacks, he housed in the cells with the with Crips, you know, black gang members, right? And so of course in that area and time period, the white convicts doing time felt that he was a race traitor, and pretty much he had a target on him, you know, pretty much an on-site target, pretty much everywhere he went due to the policies within the structure of the white convicts.
if you a white Crippin and you in prison in the California prison during the 90s, you can expect some you can expect some violence. Let's just put it like that. So you know, I've done time, and I understand. I know the job was dangerous when I took it. So I knew what I signed up for. I was I was ready to the best of my ability. I wasn't ready for the mental fuckery that goes on, but there was one main thing about Lancaster. In Lancaster, a lot of the staff, guards, a lot of the prison guards were from around that area. So we had black prison guards that grew up in these Crip and Blood neighborhoods who know and are known but never got in trouble. And now they're working in the system, you know. And that's, you know what I'm saying, you know, for the most part, you know what I'm saying, you know, Lancaster, it was a lot of black officers. So
Now, for those who may not be familiar with the California area, Lancaster is, I don't know exactly how far, but it's in close proximity to Los Angeles, right? And so I believe it is the closest prison to Los Angeles. And so, of course, you have not only blacks, but you have, you know, whites and also Southsiders from the Los Angeles area who may try to get to Los Angeles due to the fact that, I mean, excuse me, who may try to get to Lancaster due to the fact that it'll be a closer drive for their loved ones and their family, right? And so you did have a high number of, not only, to my understanding, black convicts there, but like he stated, black staff. You know, a lot of staff, you know, guards, captains, lieutenants, so on and so forth, was working at Lancaster.
That helped me out. That helped my survival out because there was occasions, one occasion. So I was in the building, and it all started, with a white dude behind the wall. Behind the wall, when I say that, that means where we go to work. So we have to go through a work change building, and then once we go behind that wall, you know what I'm saying, you don't leave out of that area until you're strip searched, and then you're allowed to go back to your dorm, your cell, and your yard and stuff like that. So at work is behind the wall. So on this occasion, I was in vocational janitorial, but it's janitorial. It's not rocket science. So yeah, I mean, I didn't want to be in there. So they told me the only way to get out, complete the class. So I fast tracked and did all the work real fast, and then what I'm saying, the teacher didn't want to let me out because he said I hadn't been there long enough. So I showed him that I could do everything. And then he cut me loose early. So he gave me my. I got moved into drafting, and I like to draw, so I figured drafting would be good for me. But I didn't know that the Nazi shot caller, the Nazi lowrider shot caller, was in drafting. So when I got in there, I'm saying, he has the issue. So whatever, whatever. One thing leads to another of him sending somebody else, and so I end up getting hit in the back of the head while I'm taking a piss. I'm in the bathroom, right? So can't nobody really see up in here. So I go in there to take a leak, and the big old white boy comes in, and tries, dope fiend me. But you hit me in the back of the head, you ain't hit nothing but bone. Ain't nothing back there but bone. You know what I mean? So I turn around to square up with him, and then he tries to tackle me and bull rush me and wants to wrestle. And it's like, we got room to stand up and fight. The dude is bigger than me. I'm not little. I'm 6'3". I'm like 240. But this dude is like 6'6" and almost 300 pounds on swole. You know what I mean? Swastikas and shit all over. The dude's name was Oak Tree. So anyway, so we getting down in the bathroom, and he's over me, so I can't really get to him. So I'm trying to hit him in his nuts, and then they say the teacher coming. So we jump up. He goes to that side. I go to this side. I tell him this ain't over. This ain't over. So before I can, do anything, he takes off on another white boy in front of the instructor. So that
Now, when he said he takes off on another white dude, he's talking about the dude who he just got into it with, then went out there and punched some other dude. Right now, some people may be thinking, okay, well, this dude is trying to get up off the yard or whatever, so on and so forth, right? But to be honest, the first thought that comes to my mind is he went and took off on that other dude because the other dude was probably supposed to assist him in trying to get Snow Rock. You know, and like I say, a lot of times, man, certain things are required in prison, but you honestly have individuals who, for whatever reason, don't want to go on that mission, man. So, like I say, that's the feeling that I'm getting. I don't feel that the dude was trying to PC up, right? I could be wrong because I wasn't there. This is just my just basically me just assuming, due to the time and stuff that I've done and kind of knowing how stuff goes. But we'll see.
instructor was coming out to see what the noise was. Now he sees this dude hit the other dude. Okay. So anyway, he pushes his button. This is level 4. This is prison. So he pushes his alarm, and then all the police come running up in here from work change and from everywhere in the vicinity. They all come running in here to find out what this is about. If they don't know, they're all coming. So once they get the word, okay, just a couple guys fighting. Then, what I'm saying, the guy they found some scratches on me. So I ended up going to the hole, and then I came back. So I told him, look, I don't have a problem. Send me back. So they sent me back. When they sent me back, I knew, that, they was gonna try something, but I'm in the building with the dude who's the shot caller for the Nazi lowriders. So I tell the homies, I'm gonna sit and talk to him and and find out what's up.
Now let me pause this real quick. The last time I did a story on Snow Rock, right? You had some weirdo in the comments basically saying, "Oh man, get off the dude's jock and so on and so forth," because I was giving this dude his props, right? A lot of people talk, right? But I have seen, it's easy to ride and put in work with a collection. It's easy to, to be hard and be down when you got 7 or 8 of your friends with you or even more. But I've seen this happen time and time again in prison when it's a particular individual's time to go on a solo mission, or especially he has got in hot water with his car, the dude rolls up. So the point I'm trying to make is it's easy to jump somebody, but when it's time to stand up against many, a lot of people. I mean, I've seen a lot of the so-called biggest, baddest, toughest individuals from all races roll up. So when it's time to face a whole bunch of people, it's not that easy, man. This dude being a white Crip, every day he woke up, he had to deal with potentially, this could be the day he gets stabbed, this could be the day that he loses his life, so on and so forth. He was a consistent 24/7 target. I think he talked about being stabbed 2 or 3 times during his experiences in prison. So it's by no easy means whatsoever being a white Crip. I know firsthand experience because I was in the cell with a homie from my particular hood, who I grew up with, who is a white Crip. So I know what they go through.
So when I get at him, the dude get at me foul. First he tell me, that him and his homeboy plan to dope feed me in the bathroom. So that's strike one. In my head. But now ain't nobody. It's just me and him at a table, and the blacks are watching, the whites are watching, the police are watching. Everybody's waiting to see what's going to happen. And so then he tells me him and his homeboy plan to do that. So that's strike one. So then we goes on, and the dude tells me that he done stabbed 3 white Crips before. Why are you telling me that? Only reason you telling me that, you trying to scare me. Strike two. So then we're sitting there talking, and the dude tells me he just appreciated if I get out of the class. If I get out of the class drafting that he's in, there won't be no animosity or no problems. So all I hear is, oh, if you stay in the class, there's going to be animosity and problems. But he just wanted me to ask for a change to a different class. But the way I'm taking it is, you telling me I got to get out of there because you were in there. So I can't do nothing. The police are watching, Towers watching, my homies watching, his homies watching. Everybody's waiting to see what happens. So I'm like, look, man, I'm gonna get out the counselor, man. See if they can get me up out of the class. After that, I'll let you know. He's like, all right, man, I appreciate it. So then he goes to his side, I go to my side. So
Now I see it coming already. What Snow Rock has done was he went with the classic put him to sleep tactic, right? He has told this dude, okay, man, it's cool. I'm supposed to go holler at the counselor. I'm gonna try to get up out of there, right? Like I said, man, anytime when I hit the pen in '96, anytime there was a discussion about white Crips or when a white Crip hit the yard or whatever, right? Because I never ran across him. His name always came up as being a stand-up dude, right? Quick to handle his business, so on and so forth, right? So I already know what's getting ready to happen. Now, this other dude has made the fatal mistake first and foremost by putting his hands on him, or I think he's or planning the when he got assaulted, right? And so then you turn around and you tell him, I've stabbed 3 white Crips. That's extremely disrespectful right there. Anytime you are insinuating about doing some violence or threatening to do violence on another person in prison, that is a high level of disrespect, right? Saying you're threatening a person. So to me, I don't know what the white dude that he's talking to was thinking about, even in believing you could put your hands on somebody or tell somebody I have had you attacked and think it's gonna be all good.
he's come over the table like, cuz, what's up? What'd he say? What happened? What'd he say? And so I tell him, and I'm like, cuz tonight when they had day room, I'm breaking cuz Joe.
I knew it.
You know, because the police are watching. Everybody thinks, they need to think it's okay. So everybody, you know what I'm saying, is like acting like, oh, it's all good. You know what I mean? So we go back, you know what I'm saying, we go over to the table, play some cards, and just wait, you know what I mean, And you know what I'm saying, when later on that evening, because that's the thing, we only have an hour of day room. That's enough time for you to get in the shower, enough time for a couple people to get on the phone. They have a phone list, they sign up for phones, and you get people let out for work or shower and stuff like that. Otherwise, you know what I'm saying, this is level 4, you know what I mean? Ain't no night program. You have the yard, and that's closed. Ain't no yard at night, not for level 4. So anyway, so now we come out, you know what I mean? It was quick, and that's the thing. This is one of the things that saved me. The officer who was there was a female officer. This female officer I had been hitting on. Think about it. If you're a man and you're in a prison, if there's a female to hit on, you know, I'm gonna hit on her. What do I got to lose? I'm already in jail. I'm lonely. I mean, I don't like guys, so what are my options? That's the thing. I don't have a pen pal. I don't have nobody. You know what I mean? So I'm on my own. So I'm trying to get at anybody, the MTA, the nurse, the kitchen lady, the cook. I don't look. I don't care. The counselor. Look, it was your man. Hey, I'll holler at it. But what I got to lose, and they know, you know what I mean, because they getting it not only by me, they getting it by a lot of other people. And I'm shy. I've always been shy. But after doing, you know what I'm saying, decades, over 10 years in a cage, and you know what I mean, I missed out on a lot. Ain't no going back, ain't no getting that back. That's over with. That's done. Now it's time to move forward, time to move on, trying to do different. I'm not fisting wait around. If I see something I like, I'm fisting go get it. You know what I mean? That's just who I am. So anyway, this CO female, I had been getting at her. I'm trying to, get in where I fit in. You know what I mean? So anyway, she was there when a dude when the thing goes down because I break the shot caller's jaw. So here it is. So they release for day rooms. So now we got this is only one tier, either bottom tier or top tier gets to come out. So I got two homies that are on the top tier. I didn't know they talked their way out. They're in the shower, in the black shower on the C side. We got to go over to A side. That's where the white boy is at. We're gonna go over to his section. I'm gonna go get at him, and just I'm trying to break his jaw. That's my whole goal. You know what I mean? And when it all happens, you know what I'm saying? They open up. We don't know the homies is out. So me and my celly, he comes over to watch my back, and I go in between the tables. You know what I'm saying? Like, hey man, let me holler at you. So this is the shot caller that I talked to earlier today, but everybody thinks everything is good. We done had our powwow. So now when I come over there, you know what I mean, I'm just standing by the line because there's a line on the ground that you're not allowed to cross. And that's they don't want us too close to the cells, so we pass stuff in and out. So you can't go past this line. You can stand at the line and talk to your friend in that cell, but you can't go up to the cell. That's the rules. You know what I mean? No warning shots. But these are the rules in prison the way it is. So I'm standing at the line and he's talking to somebody and I'm politely waiting for him to get done. So now my homeboy is over by the stairs, standing like he's pretending he's waiting to get on the phone. So the dude gets done talking to the dude he was talking to, and he comes over to the line where I was at. Now we're facing the tower, the gun tower, and the podium where the police are. And I tell the dude, I'm like, yeah, man, I talked to the counselor because he wants me to get out of the class. So I told him, yeah, man, I talked to the counselor. I told the counselor I want to stay in the class so you could suck. And the dude looked at me like, what? Just as I turned around with everything and just gave him a right straight to his chin. The dude's eyes, I seen his eyes roll back into his head as he fell straight back, sleep, knocked out. So when I see this, I'm trying to get out of there. I'm on the white side. I'm trying to get back to the black side. So, I'm going through the tables, and that's a no-no for other races. This is the white Mexican side. I'm not supposed to go through these tables. But I'm going through these tables because that's the most direct way back to where I need to go. And
Okay, so now what he's talking about is he just went to the Mexican and white side of the day room and knocked out the white shot caller. Now, so the in the middle of the day room, they have, it might be 7 or 8 little metal tables with 4 metal seats attached to them. And then they'll have like maybe 3 or 4 little small benches and a TV up there. And so if you happen to live on that side, you don't walk through the middle of it. You just go all around the outside of it, closer to the cell area, and then you go to your cell, right? Because you can be assigned. It's 2 day rooms. You can be assigned to. Well, it's not necessarily two. Well, it is 2 day rooms, but the building somewhat goes in a big U, and so there are 2 day rooms on the side, and so you can be assigned to either side of the day room regardless of your race, right? And so just walking through those tables, that was a violation because he was supposed to go all the way around. So had a Southern Hispanic or a white dude seen him walking through the middle of the tables, they had every right really to jump up and take off on him because they could assume that he's walking through there to do something to somebody because they know that he's a Crip and he functions with the blacks. Also, him going over there and knocking out the white dude was kind of like somewhat of a suicide mission because it could have kicked off a riot. Had some white dudes seen it happen and jumped up and rushed him, and so I'm a little surprised that he didn't give the Crips a head up, letting them know what he was going to do so they could be prepared. So anyway, that was definitely a little risky.
Go through the tables, and then it's the white boy that he was hollering at, that he was talking to before when I came up. Now he seen me knock his boy out, and I'm walking in between the tables, and now he tries to cut me off. But I see him, and I hear my homeboy say, "Snow, look out!" And I see the white boy coming up, and I jab, and I catch him, and I hit him in his mouth. I bust his lip. So he immediately puts his hands up like he was gonna fight me. And then the police was right there. She seen everything. She seen me knock the dude out. She don't tell me till later on down the line, because she got transferred and moved. I went to the hole. Time went on, and I ended up running into her again because she was working in the hole. And she explained to me, she was like, "Yeah, I seen this and I seen that." And I was like, "Man, you know what I mean? She wrote it up so that I beat the 115 for self defense, saying that the white boy came at me. Because that's usually what happens. But she, told me she seen exactly what happened. She seen exactly what I did. And she said she knows why I did it. So it is what it is. But I was saying all that because in there was a lot of staff that were black that gave me action, that gave me a chance. When others look, let's just get him out of here. The whites dropped the kite, said they're gonna stab him. Let's just move him. If you move me, it ain't gonna do nothing. It's just gonna keep it going. Tell them to bring it. I don't run from nobody. I'm not no tough guy. I don't want no problems, but I'm not running from no problems either.
And a lot of times when a white Crip hits the yard, that's exactly what administration will do. They'll send him to the hole and they'll ship him to another pen, right? And then he may get to that prison. They send him to the hole because administration already knows what's going to happen 9 times out of 10 when you put anybody who is not black on the yard who functions with the black, whether he's a Mexican or a white, Crip or blood. There's always in my era going to be a problem. So sometimes it is better, especially for Snow Rock, just to stay at one pen and try to establish whatever he's going to establish because. Like I say, if you just keep moving him, it's just the problem, right? And I had a CO do me like that one time, man. When I got into it, I caught a stabbing on a level 2. And the CO I found out later definitely seen everything, but he wrote the write-up in an extremely favorable way. I guess he didn't like the dude who I stabbed, right? And I was able to beat that 115 due to the way he worded it. And he said he didn't really see anything, right? And so I'm definitely grateful for that because ain't no telling what could have, what possibly could have happened to me behind that situation. I could have possibly got another life sentence or got a life without parole because I already had life. So yeah, I'm definitely thankful for that.
So I had an open invitation, one on one. Anybody want it, come and get it. And that's the thing in Lancaster. That's what I was known for. You know what I mean? You know, I ain't turning down nothing but my collar. And that's the thing. I walk the line every day. People used to call me Radio Raheem. I'd be out there with a Super 2 radio with a little bag on it with 2D batteries. You know what I'm saying? As the battery pack charging up, playing my Walkman, bumping Ghetto Boys, Ghetto Boys. You know, I was out there every day. My celly was the homie. He fixes radios and headphones, Walkmans, and all that. So he's the guy. Plus, we got a fat music collection. The homie, when I got there, you know what I mean? You know, my celly, he had, you know what I'm saying? You know, we got a real good music collection.
Now, for those who may not be familiar with what a Super 2 radio is, a Super 2 radio was something that when I first got to prison, you had a lot of dudes who they had Super 2s, and then later they started having Super 3s, and it was basically just a big old giant, it was a black radio with a speaker. And that's all it really was a radio, right? And then so you would have these dudes who would hook up, you know, they would hook it up to where you could also hook up a Walkman or a tape player to it, and then you would play music about that, right? So that's what a Super 2 radio is.
But yeah, so I was known as Radio Raheem, and people didn't understand, you know what I'm saying? You know, I'm not carrying this radio because I love music. I'm carrying this radio because this is a weapon. It got 6D batteries inside of it, plus 2 batteries strapped onto it. And if you run up on me, I will hit you upside the head with this radio. But that's the thing. People just thought, oh, you know what I'm saying? You know, Snow Rock like music. Nah. Snow Rock's here to survive. Yeah, but so Lancaster was a wild place. It was a lot going on. You know what I mean? Because at the time, you know what I'm saying, this was the early '90s, so they still had norteños that would come down there, and you know what I'm saying, you know, the sureños, they had the bulldogs, you know what I'm saying, and they was using them as torpedoes. Anything from the north came down here, they had to take off, and if they didn't, they was, you know what I'm saying, you know, getting, and usually they get up out of here anyhow. It was always some mess going on. It was a lot of. We were in Lancaster.
All right, and so I'm gonna wrap it up right there, man. The name of his channel once again is Standing Tall with Snow Rock, man. He's definitely got some great stories on there, and I suggest you guys go and check those stories out, man. Definitely, you know, the '90s, early 2000s or whatever was a different time for, you know, any dude who was a Crip and was not black, because whatever race you happened to be of, that race viewed you as a race traitor, and they wasn't gonna let you hang out, you know, not only be in the cell, chill with blacks, being on the being on the black side of the day room and stuff, but more importantly, I believe to them, if a riot jumped off, you know, you was willing to draw blood on your own people. And to keep it 100, right? We I can relate to that, right? Because it was the same, right? But for the most part, I never seen a whole lot of blacks trip on, you know, you may have had black dudes who ran with the Southsiders, right? But I can relate more to when you had dudes from the you had dudes from the IE area push with LA cars. You know, you had a lot of dudes, man, or not a lot, but you always had some dudes from IE who, you know, who didn't like that, you know what I'm saying? Who was saying, man, I can't wait if we happen to get into it with, you know, with the LA cats. I'm going to specifically target this dude from IE who's running with the LA dudes, because once again, he was viewed as a traitor, right? Because this dude he's from IE, but he's choosing to run with an LA based gang. So, you know, it's understanding the feeling of betrayal, right? But anyway, man, you already know what it is. It's your boy 16 to life. Resume normal program.
That game greasy, bitch, that game need me. Oh, yeah, niggas don't know my name. That game greasy, bitch, that game need me. I'm out here doing my thing. That game greasy, bitch, that game need me. bitch, they can't need me. Nigga, ain't shit gonna change.
Them crackers let me out the gate, now the pressure's on. We bout to get this shit straight like a pressing cone. The wrong cat to get aggressive on. I bring the bitch up out of niggas while you think they got them dresses on. My reach long and that's the best type. To have some dirty white boys come and smoke you like a meth pipe. And leave your chest bright red like a fire truck. Kicking your mom's door at night, nigga, and tie her up. I'm wild as fuck and I'm respected by the new youth. I put this pistol in their ear like a Bluetooth. I blow their brains on their new coupe. And have red everywhere just like a function full of soup whoops. Tell your troops I deal with beef like a butcher. My 4-5 pump more guys than Ashton Kutcher. Line pusher, quick to bury your clown. Nigga, I stayed in the park like the merry-go-round. Get it?
That game greasy, bitch, they can't need me. Oh, you niggas don't know my name. That game greasy, bitch, they can't need me. I'm out here doing my thing. That game greasy, bitch, they can't need me. I swerve in my own lane. That game greasy, bitch, they can't need me. Nigga, ain't shit gonna change.
I shook the coward on his hook cause it was hustle time. Only buster that you'll see me fucking with is Buster Rhymes. You spoken meth and doing lines like a dope fiend. Living foul, telling lies, hide behind a smoke screen. I'm trying to get rich by any means, except for turning to a bitch, being a snitch, or rocking skinny jeans. And a couple other things I disagree with. A lot of y'all tripping me, I'm sticking with this G shit. My heat spit, I get loony with the rifle. Riding by myself like I'm on a unicycle. I'm bad like Michael, no Randy, no Tito. I never been a bitch and I can put that on me though. First nigga trip, I'm on his ass like a Speedo. My 4-5 clapped and it's a rap, burrito. I leave you in a fetal position, I spark fast. I'm just trying to get green like the east side park grass. And the march don't ask if I might clap. I had life and now I'm home and they don't like that. I'm right back like I left something. Like I told your bitch to hold my dope sack and she kept something. Bet something if you think I left the strap at home. That bitch stayed with the kid like a chaperone. And I'm prone to put my mask on and spin the block, hit my target spinning round. That's how you change round the ops. Laying down, call the cops. Now it's lots of yellow tape. I'll never box my op unless they pay me what Canelo make. I'm a shooter, boy. I blaze shit up for Carmelo's sake. Niggas talking, acting tough, but sweeter than some yellow cake. I don't take one bite. Play with me, gunfight. A nigga come for me on mama's cuz he better come right. If not, seal casket, no more sunlight. Smoke shop, yeah, I got way more than one pipe. You will never fuck with me, pussy, you the nun type. You report shit after it happened, walk the front kite. I'm a mentor, war instructor, sensei. A nigga who was really in the field like Kunta Kinte.
That game greasy, bitch, they can't need me. Oh, you niggas don't know my name. That game greasy, bitch, they can't need me. I'm out here doing my thing. That game greasy, bitch, they can't need me. I swerve in my own lane. That game greasy, bitch, they can't need me. Nigga, ain't shit gonna change.